And life is like, I think it's a set of exams that we are giving. Everything that we are doing, it is an exam. Of course, we have chosen the exam ourselves. If no one has, imposed that exam on us, like the school exams or whatever. If something is keeping you awake all night, you should try it out. You should pursue it. And if it happens, it's good. If it doesn't happen, doesn't matter. It was blank, and I knew that if God has put me here, God will give me the strength to take me forward, and I will be able to do it. When they came, how I'm trying to manage the firm and I'm trying to fulfill the dreams of my father-in-law and my husband, they decided that it's time. It's also time for them to return back to the firm, which gave them so much.
For the future generation, we are going to do a big deal of favor.
I have traveled to more than 20 countries across 4 continents in the world.
Hello everybody, welcome to Entrepreneurship Simplified, where brilliant ideas and the biggest leaders awaits you to simplify entrepreneurship and leadership through their real life experiences of failures and successes. You can take these lessons to boost your career and grow to realize your dreams much faster. And this show is being done in association with Young Indians. Young Indians is a movement for Indian youth to converge, lead, co-create and influence India's future. YI is playing a proactive role in India's development process. If you want to take part of India's growth and be successful, YI is a place to be. Bear in mind, this show has no script. Everything you hear on the show is heart-to-heart with real-life experiences. And today's guest is a Western leader with experience across industries: construction, movies, law, and NGO. She is an advocate in Supreme Court of India who assisted in drafting the bill on sexual harassment of women at workplace, which became an official act in 2013. She has taken over 60-year-old family business of construction after her husband passed away in 2017. She has great passion for acting and producing movies. She produced Assamese feature film Rishang, which won the most popular film in Prag Film Awards. She also co-founded social work organization WUTSA in 2011 for underprivileged children. In 2015, she was appointed as director of Guwahati Food Awards. She is a part of the Young Indians National Governing Council and also a member of CII Regional Council and CII Infrastructure Committee of Guwahati City. She was among one of the shortlisted candidates in Niti Aayog Women. She is full of passion and life. Help me to welcome Pallavi Chumki Barua. Hi Pallavi, how are you doing?
Hi Rajesh, it is so great to be on your show, and thank you so much for that extensive introduction of mine. I was also listening to it, okay, these are the things that I did. Thank you so much Rajesh for having me on the show.
How one person with so many things, be it movies, NGO, lawyer, there are so many things within your own life experience. Can you share what brings you when you take a decision? Yes, I want to start something.
Actually, the thing is that, when we were very young, we are asked, what is your aim in life, right? During our times, like about 25, 30 years back, it was like we had to write an essay about our aim in life. So I remember, I thought, oh my God, I have to have an aim. And in class 3, I had written that my aim in life was to become a lawyer. And that stuck, I was like too much influenced with movies. So and you see the lawyers in movies are like so dynamic people, right? So I decided that I have to become a lawyer. So with that aim in life, I went ahead. I started, I joined a law college, the 5-year law college in ILS Pune. Thereafter, and then it was only law that was all in my mind. But there was also this another side of me which wanted to do acting. I loved movies, and as to it is as if God is trying to, destiny is trying to, see that what I really want. So my house, the apartment where I used to live in Pune, on the left hand side used to be ILS Law College. And on the right-hand side was Film Institute of India, Pune. Can you imagine? There used to be this wall, and the next wall is like Film Institute. But still, I was so much loyal to my studies that I decided, no, I should go ahead do law, finish law. I did that. My dream place was Supreme Court of India. I joined that. And thereafter, in 2003, I joined Supreme Court. And then 2004, I got married and I got back to Guwahati. I came back to Guwahati in 2004. I decided to do my master's in law. I love studying, I'm a complete stickler for studies. So while doing that, I used to also do a little bit of plays here and there. And my husband saw this, that he likes doing plays and all. So he gave me an opportunity to, have my own movie and theater production place. Thereafter, but of course, till now, I keep doing short films or theaters or something or the other. Then NGO, I love doing social work. So that's how, the social activism role came into my life. A friend of mine came to me and I, along with him and few others, we co-founded this organization called Universal Team for Social Accident Help, UTSA. And I worked as the vice chairperson and the executive director for 3 years and worked in slum communities and for children and women. But thereafter, in 2014, I left it. And at that time, as I said, I had done my master's in law. So I had done, my master's was in intellectual property. In 2006, there was no takers for intellectual property, which is like patent, trademark, copyright, etc. in Guwahati. And in Delhi, Bombay, things would have been different. In Guwahati, there were no takers. Then in 2014, suddenly I started getting these calls that about trademark, about this. And that's when I decided, okay, it's time for me to open my law firm, which I've always wanted. So that's how Peaceable Legalist came into the being. And thereafter, as 2017, my husband passed away. And he was the owner of this construction firm, which was there since 1959. So my father-in-law is the topmost entrepreneur of Guwahati, of Assam, or Northeast India. So, thereafter it fell on my shoulders. So I want to encompass as much as I can in this birth itself. So this is the reason why you can see me, in all the places, trying to be there.
I totally love the way that you actually have driven so far. But let me ask, right? I mean, just like so cinematic, where, cinemas have inspired to be a lawyer, and then you are in both of them. Let me ask, when being a lawyer, actually getting to solve the problems more onto debates, when it comes to movies, managing the movie, like you talked about the feature film itself, how different is between the workings of being a lawyer and being in the feature film or managing a feature film?
Actually, it is completely different. I think there is no link between them. I'll tell you something, that when I started my law firm, which was Peaceable Legalist, so I used to be the peon to the clerk, to the junior, to the arguing counsel. I mean, everything, all in one. It was one office, one person office. So because of that, I learned every small detail, small nuances, right? And thereafter, when I started taking juniors, when I started having, interns coming to my office, and when I got a clerk, and then got a manager, got an accountant. So, it's like, because I myself had experience, I myself used to do everything on my own. So it became easy for me to delegate all these things to these people. So it was completely a management thing. And as far as the movie production thing is concerned, I had during Rishang, that movie, I actually started doing the movie in 2010. I basically took a plunge. I had no idea how will I go forward. I took a plunge. There were a lot of people that we knew, so we all came together. And it is through Rishang, through that 1 year of shooting and editing and everything that had taken place in that 1 year, I kind of learned a lot of management skills. That management skills, I actually employed it while running Peaceable Legalist. And now imagine taking up a construction firm which has been there since 1959, and it was completely it was run by men. It's run and led by men. There were never a single woman working in that firm, and suddenly the what you call it, the person, the top person is a woman who's taking care of everything right now. But it was very difficult initially, but all those management skills that I learned all the way, even Utsa, the management skills where I learned, which I learned there. So everything seems to be, it's a step. It's like everything throughout my journey. It's like this endeavor helped me to understand how do I execute the second endeavor, or so it is a combination of all the experiences that I'm gathering throughout my life. I am executing all my present and the future work through that. So although it's completely different, it is helping each other,
You're sounding more like a management student than a lawyer. I love that. So I think
really?
you made a very important point here, especially when you're talking about anything that you do, whatever kind of career you have, it's all about managing yourself. Can give the best outcome is the way that you prove time and again. But let me ask, this is a very important aspect where if really, husband passed away, is a very painful act at that moment, right? And there may be so many changes that might have happened. And on top of that, having to take over the business is another massive thing. Now, I want to ask, what kind of mindset you are carrying at that moment? One, to come over what you lost, and two, to really take over something which is a huge responsibility to fill in the boots. So what kind of mindset has helped you to really move from the victim mindset to really the acting mindset?
I'll tell you what. So I still remember the day when he passed away. That was 25th of March 2017, and I'm sitting right next to him on the hospital bed, and he's gone. I felt as if the floor beneath me has been taken away, as if the roof above my head has been taken away. And I cannot still, when I think about it, I get goosebumps. And for about 30 days, I think I was completely blank. I did not know anything. I did not understand anything. I did not react to it. But I was in a mad phase of my life. And then so on 25th March he died. So on 24th April, when it was a month, I knew if I have to survive, if I have to stay back in the place where I lived for last 14 years of my life, if I have to stay back, if I have to stay, as whatever, as Mrs. Bob Barua or Mrs. Pallavi Chumki Barua, whatever you call it, I have to take account of things that's happening. And when I came down to the office, because the office was downstairs, I realized that everything is in shambles, and I have to now, there was like, I could not have left it and gone out. It was a big challenge. I had to take it up. There was no second option for it. There was no option that I could have left it and gone. I said, no, I'm not taking care of it. I had to take it up, and whatever challenge that came, I had to undergo it. I had to, complete it. And my husband, before he died, told me a few things to do. He said that you have to do this. He gave me a list of things. And that's a dying man's wish. I had to fulfill them. I cannot live without, fulfilling those. So it was like that. It was how I took that up, and then how I started fulfilling all those wishes, all the list that he had given me. And, it was kind of, I had no option. I had to take it up. I had no option. So that's what was my mindset was, it was blank. And I knew that if God has put me here, God will give me the strength to take me forward, and I will be able to do it. So, and wow. I think I'm doing it. It's like 4 years now.
Wow. I mean, you are an inspiration, Pallavi, in that way, right? Like you said, you are, so honest in saying that, yes, I was down and I had no clue. But then the way that you choose, yes, I have to take up the responsibility instead of giving up, seems like it, it has changed everything that happened afterwards. But yeah, I can only say one thing. If we can apply the same thing in everything we do in everyday basis, things can be much more simplified, because in many times, just like you said, if somebody is put up in that situation, which means definitely they can actually either overcome or maybe excel in that. So this is really true. I agree with you. So I just want to ask, right, when you carry it, all your experience of management, But when it comes to entrepreneurship, as you mentioned, it is so important to have the right employees in place. And I also understood some of the employees are literally there from 15, 20 years within your organization. How difficult was it is to literally sit on top as a CEO or an entrepreneur and manage all those people who work with your husband who is no more? Like, how did you adapt your style of working as an entrepreneur?
I'll tell you something that I actually give a lot of respect to all the employees because they have been there for last 15, 20 years. The knowledge that they have, I do not have it. Correct? So I have to take their knowledge if I want my firm to run, if I want my firm to continue. So first of all, I gave them a lot of respect, and I do not call them by their names or something. I use we use Dada in Assamese, right? I call everyone I call everyone Dada, the name and Dada. So that actually maybe that really, gelled with them. Something they liked about it. Of course, there are 2-3 employees who left because they did not want to work with the women after, working for so long with, in a man-led organization. So, and then, but fortunately for me, there were few who had left about, say, 10 years back or something like that. When they heard from my other employees, I'll tell you how it happened most probably. It's just that, the employees who were already there with me, as I said, 2 or 3 left. The employees who stayed back with me, when I was, because see, as I said, I do not have the knowledge of construction. I have zero knowledge of construction. I can manage things and I know the legal side. So, I needed people to run different departments. Say the engineering or the principal engineer or the junior engineer or the architect or, a lot of people that I wanted. So there were few who had left. When they came, how I'm trying to manage the firm and I'm trying to fulfill the dreams of my father-in-law and my husband, they decided that it's time. It's also time for them to return back to the firm, which gave them so much. Maybe they had started their career with, So that's how they all came back. There are a lot who retained in the firm, and it's like a big family. I like to celebrate birthdays with them. All their birthdays we celebrate, and then I give them a lot of love and respect. Maybe that is why I also get back a lot of love and respect from them. And this is how I am trying to manage it. There is no boss feeling. There is no boss feeling. There is only a big family that we all live together. And if people ask about my family, I show all my employees, see, this is a massive, massive family that I have here.
Wow. Yeah. Family. The entire office's family is really amazing. Yes. So I think 2 important aspects is 1, creating respect to each other in the entire culture. And 2 is to create the celebratory kind of an ambience most of the time, keeps people in that positive attitude. And I think I can see it, but when you move from being a lawyer into producing a movie, into the NGO, and then into all this, in this entire process, if I ask you, what is one common thing which you did not change? Because you had to adapt in time to time, from role to role, you have to adapt. But if there is anything that you should not change, irrespective of the career, irrespective of the industry, is there anything like that?
I am actually juggling all the 4 roles together. I have not left any of them. Law remains my passion, or is my main bread and butter also. So see, I think the legal aspect, which is there everywhere, and whether it's in the construction side or whether it is in the movie production or whether in the society, NGO or in the trusts or in my law firm itself, the legal aspect is there everywhere. So I think whatever I am touching, I try to give it a little bit of a legal nuance to each of the things that I'm doing, So maybe the lawyer part of me stays constant. So I'm a lawyer first, and the rest of the thing.
How aware an entrepreneur should be about the legal aspects, because most of the younger generation, they just get into the startups. Most of them, they don't know anything other than just the idea that they have. So they need to literally nurture so many other things. how important it is to be aware of all these legal aspects for a young entrepreneur.
Oh, it is extremely important nowadays because you can see the number of the judiciary is right now is playing a massive role in the entire country or maybe the entire world. Everything that you are doing, it has to be legally foolproof. If there is, because there are issues of, say, you might be infringing on someone's work, you might be say in the movie production thing, you might be infringing on someone else's copyright. If you are selling stuff, and if say if you are selling a soap or something, so you have named a soap, a particular brand, and that brand is already there in the market, or similar name is already there as a trademark, so you cannot use it in that case. So you have to be very you actually, I can give some idea to this young entrepreneurs. You will have from your school friends, you will have someone who would have gone up to law, gone and done law, right? You should always keep in touch with a lawyer who should be just like a doctor, like over the phone, I have fever, give me a medicine. You should, all of you should have at least one lawyer friend in your friend circle. Just call up, any problem, just call up, hey, I am stuck with this, how do I solve it? And the friend will definitely be there. So my advice to the young entrepreneurs who is not going into the legal side, they should have at least one lawyer friend, like at least one doctor friend.
I like this. I totally like this. Your life itself is an example of, you can take any aspects within the life that you like and, enjoy the experience. So I want to ask that aspect of you. I mean, what kind of experience you feel? What kind of feeling you get when you kind of finished a movie, or, just had a successful case in the court, or probably had a huge impact through the NGO? What kind of feeling you have?
It's like every time I am doing a play, or every time, or doing a movie or a case or anything, or any venture that I'm doing, it's like giving an exam, just like it's in school. I feel that I have my exam the next day. I have all those butterflies. And the moment it is finished, I feel, oh my God, a big exam is over. It is like giving an examination somehow. And I love giving examinations, I must say that, So it is like, one exam is over. And life is like, I think it's a set of exams that we are giving. Everything that we are doing, it is an exam. Of course, we have chosen the exam ourselves if no one has, imposed that exam on us, like the school exams or whatever.
The way you simplified is so much justifying the name itself. Like, you simplified. Life is all about certain exams. And for me, now I'm actually understanding, every time we pass the exam, we go to the next level of the life. And
yes.
The moment we fail, we have an opportunity to learn and give the exam again.
Yes. Yes.
But one thing I really kind of, draw from your life experiences, if you love something, go, give an attempt, right? Like you said, there is only one life. Is there any, before we really conclude this very interesting conversation, do you have any one advice for the youth on how they should kind of get into career exactly in that interface?
So my advice is that if you have a dream, you should pursue it. If something is keeping you awake all night, you should try it out. You should pursue it. And if it happens, it's good. If it doesn't happen, doesn't matter. And I also believe in another statement. I mean, we have always been taught that you should be, see, I call myself jack of all trades, master of none. This is something used to be, which was not supposed to be a good proposition, but this is a proposition that makes me feel complete. So, if you think that you want to do a lot of things, you should just keep doing it. You just not think that, oh God, I studied law, so I have to do only law. I cannot do anything else. Or you should just enjoy your life. Enjoy your life with the work that you are doing.
Wow. Yeah. And you're a true example of it. I can only see that the way that you actually kind of handled so many roles. So audience, this is the important message that you should plug in. If you have a dream and it's keeping you awake, it's a sign for you to really go ahead and chase, just like what Pallavi shared just now. And Pallavi, thank you so much for taking time and being part of this show. And I can only say that, it has been really, really interesting to know how you actually moved on from so many roles. And I'm sure people will be inspired and, chasing their dreams. So thank you so much once again, audience. And if you have not yet liked or subscribed, make sure to hit that button and share with everybody else where this message can make an impact in their life. But otherwise, me and Pallavi, thank you so much to you, and I'll see you with another amazing entrepreneur in the next week. But till then, we say thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.